Is real estate in India's Tier 2 cities less saturated and more profitable than property in top 10 metros? Faced with one of the worst slowdowns in recent history, analysts, brokers, buyers and investors across India are looking for clues to the question, which property markets going forward will do well if we buy into them today? So our realty debate today is property beyond metros, a better investment. Welcome everyone, I'm Anurag Jhanwar and I'm joined by a star panel, Anshuman Magazine Chairman and MD CBRE South Asia. Also with us, Beneath Relia, MD Sare Homes, Om Chaudhary, CEO Fire Capital, Sameer Jasuja, founder and MD Prop Equity, and of course it is a Prop Equity research that we will base a large part of our discussion on. From our Mumbai studio, Anurag Jhanwar, Business Head Consulting Research and Data Labs at PropTiger.com, and Arvind Nandan, Executive Director RNA Housing.com. Gentlemen, welcome. All right,
so that's what
return for a PE investor. Clearly, you're saying that Tier 2 cities are a better investment than Tier 1 realty investment. All right, Anurag Jhanwar, you actually come face to face with the buyer. How much do Tier 2 cities sell? How, in terms of volumes, they seem to me, as a Prop Equity report suggests, they're tiny. Entire 19 markets that were considered by the Prop Equity report do not even make up to one city of Bengaluru. So is that sense that it's still a very small part of the big real estate game in India, correct?
Yeah. Right, Manisha. So, if you actually look at some of the figures which the report suggests, overall it clearly demonstrates that the volume from these cities is very low. And again, if you delve deeper into, say, a project, typical project size of a Tier 1 city and compare that to a Tier 2 cities, the size difference could be 4 times to 5 times. And if we go within Tier 2 cities and look at some of the cities of South India, probably the sizes are less than 2 lakh square feet per project. So obviously, it cannot, at the end of it, if you accumulate everything from Tier 2 cities, cannot match to the might of Tier 1 cities. However, having said that, the fundamental difference to our mind is that a Tier 2 city by nature is more end user driven, and Tier 1 would be having a mix of more, end user as well as investment demand, and hence the propensity of these markets, a Tier 1 market, to increase the price will be much higher compared to Tier 2. So though the prices are affordable in Tier 2, but if you look at the report of Prop Equity, it says that the prices have increased by 10%, and whereas in case of a Tier 2 on a higher base, Tier 1 on a higher base, it has increased by 9%. So definitely there is a demand in Tier 2, but a Tier 1 on a higher base, if they are giving you a return of 9%, I would think that the game is more towards Tier 1 and not Tier 2 in the near future.
Okay.
From a long-term perspective, obviously.
So I'm sure each one of you has a different pick in terms of which are the cities which are likely to do the best going forward amongst that Tier 2 basket. But Anurag Jhanwar, in terms of how sales have been happening, the way they've slowed down, everything is slowed down. We agree with that. But has South been your most softened cushion in terms of sales?
Yep, so I will agree to that. Mostly if you talk about South, Bangalore in Tier 1 cities has still been doing okay. We are seeing some sales volumes overall. In the West, Pune has been doing okay. But if you look at overall South, apart from Bangalore, even Chennai is kind of giving the cushion. Also on the Tier 2 side, one more observation which I would like to make is that if you look at some of these cities like a Kochi or a Mangalore, one of the important factors is that there's an inherent wealth which is there in each of these cities. At the same time, they're getting support from people who are migrating out of those cities within India as well as outside India. So that is also coming back, and though they put that money as an investment, but it is intended for consumption once they return back after retirement. So overall, that is a fundamental character which kind of ensures that the prices do not kind of fall too much compared to a Tier 1 city.
All right, fair enough. All right, Anurag Jhanwar, do you have any city on your mind? Would you like to bet on any one of them?
So 3 of them, Kochi being one of them.
Okay.
I would go for Nagpur as well. I think because of the location, it holds a lot of potential. It has got a mix of service as well as industry. And looking at the geographical topography, this can grow in all the directions. The third one would be Jaipur. I think from an infrastructure perspective, a lot of work is being done in this city. Again, it has got a good mix of IT, and then there is an external wealth which can kind of fuel the demand in this particular place going forward. So these will be 3 picks from my side.
All right, so 3 picks. Samir, we've got, let me just say, so we've, obviously there are other favorites than what your report shows up, and that was based on past data. Future, everybody has a way of surmising which one works for them. So I'm summing up, Nagpur, Vadodara and Kochi have actually found multiple votes. Jaipur, Coimbatore, Lucknow and Indore have also got 1 vote each. And the final vote rests with you because the report is yours.
So I'll go with the findings of the report. Kochi and Visakhapatnam for sure, for multiple reasons. End user market, money coming into the cities from migrants over there, IT, manufacturing, and these are big ports. So there is multiple avenues of employment generation, plus them being educational hubs and retirement areas like Kochi, for example. I think they are very well mitigated from any risks that other cities like probably an Indore may have or a Lucknow may have, owing to its investor driven nature.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude, gentlemen, with a very, very big thank you. It was a very interesting debate, very good viewpoints from all of you and arguments between Tier 1 and Tier 2 city. And of course, I'm going to conclude with one simple thing. Tier 1 still makes a lot of sense, but if you are a risk-averse investor, Tier 2 is not at all a bad investment at this moment. Some of the cities which have come up on our list, Indore, Lucknow, Coimbatore, and if I take the principle of winding down less, then Vadodara, Nagpur, Kochi, Jaipur and Visakhapatnam. From 19, not a bad way to conclude, with actually 7 finding favor amongst our panelists, who all have their fingers right into the pie of Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities. Thank you very much for joining me on this very interesting debate. And of course, log on to NDTV Property to get all our views, our stories, and also send us your views and questions. We'll continue with the show and reality debate every Thursday. Goodbye.